our 22nd lecture. Maybe tomorrow I will take class, not sure. But I think tomorrow we should take class. So just we will do only bad impacts of pursuit of wealth. As you know, in the last lectures, we have discussed two things. The first thing which can be discussed, how European society, this one we say secular society or modern society. This society emerged as a result of different reasons we have done already, like failure of Catholic and Protestants, and due to failure of traditional society to meet basic needs of traditional society persons. Now, this question already we have done. I will give you assignments maybe today or tomorrow, just containing 5 questions, not lengthy, maybe 2 or 3 pages. 5 short questions. You will complete that assignment within the next, within 1 week. You can do in the next week, but no problem for me. This will be third assignment. So the first thing we discussed in the earlier class, that how Western society, how secular society merged in Europe. The second question, how pursuit of wealth, emerged in the Western society. Basically, when the pursuit of wealth became the main goal of secular society, then pursuit of wealth emerged in the Western society. The reason of emerging this pursuit of wealth is that the people in the European society, in the Western society, they confirm that all needs to be fulfilled are required wealth. All needs to be fulfilled required wealth to reach the maximum level of satisfaction. Okay. So now in this question, now pursuit of wealth emerged in Europe. Everybody in the Europe was working nowadays. Still now, Europeans are working for pursuit of wealth, just for wealth, not for the society. Now, in this page, we will discuss the bad impacts of pursuit of wealth. The most important thing is that in the traditional society, social relations were considered very important to determine happiness. In the traditional society, social relations played a very decisive role in to determine happiness. That is true. As you know that, like in Pakistan, now we are looking that our society now is divided into 2 parts. The first one is the traditional society. The second one is the modern society. Mostly it is discussed that our traditional society was much happier than the modern society. The same thing, in Pakistan, modern society is not dominant. Still now is not dominant. Similarly, in the Europe, when modern society dominates in the Europe, then social relations became weak. While social relations played a very important role to determine happiness. बेटा ये बात बड़ी कॉमन है कि सोशल रिलेशन होंगे देन लोग आप ज्यादा हैप्पी होंगे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल हम आपकी एग्जाम्पल ले लेते हैं. अगर आप सेपरेट हैं फैमिली के साथ देन यू विल फील some you will miss the happiness because as you will lose social relations, you will pay the cost of happiness. Okay, you will stay happy with social relations. The peoples nowadays, still now, you will confirm that peoples having strong social relations in the society are more happy than the people have not much strong relation in the society. The reason is that if you say that pursuit of wealth is very important to receive happiness, to achieve happiness, this is not good. This is not good. Because as you have the wealth, first, as you will achieve your basic needs, as you will fulfill your basic needs, then money, after fulfilling the basic needs with money, it is very little importance to create the sense of well-being and satisfaction in life. For example, basic needs are fulfilled just by 20,000, by 30,000, but remaining little remaining money, whether 1 lakh, whether 2 lakh, cannot give you the happiness. That is the sense of well-being. That is the sense of satisfaction. This sense of well-being, happiness, satisfaction cannot be purchased by money. Just with a little amount, you can receive all basic needs. You can get all basic needs. But as people in Europe work for the pursuit of wealth, they carry a loss of happiness. They carry a loss of happiness. Now, we will find one evidence about these statements. We find one evidence about this statement that pursuit of wealth caused to carry a loss of happiness. We see in one book published in Europe, the loss of happiness in market economy, the loss of happiness in the European society, the loss of happiness in the Western society. In this book, we find that a tremendous increase in wealth did not lead to corresponding increases in happiness in the West. In this book, it is written that a tremendous increase in wealth would not give happiness in the West. This is written in one book, Loss of Happiness. Imagine that. First, the European person worked for pursuit of wealth based on the rationality, based on the philosophical quotations. They neglected the regulations of Allah Almighty. They neglected the Wahi. As a result, they worked according to their will, according to their rationality. उन्होंने तो यूज किया और परसुएट ऑफ वेल्थ के लिए उन्होंने क्या बोला कि अगर आपके पास वेल्थ होगी तो आप दुनिया की हर चीज हर गोल अचीव कर सकते हैं, लेकिन उनको बाद में फील हुआ कि आप दुनिया का हर गोल अचीव नहीं कर सकते। हैप्पीनेस मनी के साथ आप कभी भी बाय नहीं कर सकते, इवन कि आपके पास बहुत ज्यादा वेल्थ भी है फिर भी आप हैप्पीनेस बाय। ओके, वन अनदर स्टडी, दिस वन एविडेंस। अब उनके स्टेटमेंट्स को हम कैसे क्रिटिसाइज करेंगे विद सम एविडेंस बेस्ड ऑन यूरोप। अब आप एविडेंस भी यूरोप के लेंगे, उनको बताएंगे परस्यूट ऑफ वेल्थ जो आपका गोल है वो ठीक नहीं था। द फर्स्ट एविडेंस वी फाइंड in this book, Laws of Happiness in Economics. The second evidence we find here, studies of terminal patients in hospitals. These studies show that all regulars pay too much attention to careers and wealth. All regulars, in other words, European persons in the last moment of life paid too much regrets. They regret over their intention for career and wealth. They show their regret. They were in pain. They didn't carry the sorrows on their intention to carry careers and wealth. जब उनसे इंटरव्यू लिया गया हॉस्पिटल में जो पेशेंट सीरियस पेशेंट, तो पूछा गया आपने जिंदगी में क्या ऑब्जर्व किया, then they show their regrets of paying too much attention to career and wealth, and they wish that to give more time to families. बहुत किया कि काश ज्यादा से ज्यादा टाइम फैमिली को देते, but this was not the time to regulate over their activities, over their behavior. Getting the point? Now, their idea, the European society idea, their idea turned to be wrong. Their idea turned to be wrong. Which idea? That sufficient wealth is much important to improve all dimensions of human life and heaven on earth, to bring heaven on earth. अब उनका ये जो आइडिया था ना कि pursuit of wealth वो बहुत ही important है to improve all dimensions of human life and to bring heaven on earth. ये उनका आइडिया था. Finally, based on these two evidence, we conclude that sufficient wealth, the pursuit of wealth, turned to be wrong idea. This idea turned to be wrong. Okay. This was the first. This one is the first target of Western society. The pursuit of wealth is much important to reach the basic all goals of life. The second idea of Western society. The Western society reported that the European society, the European scholars, philosophers, thinkers, seculars, they report that poor are the responsible of poverty. Poor are the responsible of crime. This was the idea of Europeans. Poor are the responsible of poverty and crime. उनके नजदीक अगर वेल्थ है आपके पास, आपकी बेसिक नीड्स फुलफिल हो रही है, then you are happy. You can achieve your goals. Everything you can achieve. Then no crime, no poverty. But their idea that poverty led to crime failed. Now this idea was replaced by understanding that the crime of neglecting the poor and oppressed and legitimizing pursuit of wealth the Western idea that poverty leads to crime. This idea was replaced. This idea failed by understanding that with this idea that the crime of neg- the crime of neglecting the poor and the oppressed person and legitimizing pursuit of wealth without considering social relations is the reason of widespread poverty. The reason क्या है? पहला जो उनका आइडिया था कि poverty is the main cause of crime. That this idea failed because of another idea that neglecting the poor and oppressed and legitimizing pursuit of wealth without considering situation, it leads to widespread poverty. Actual idea क्या था कि poor और oppressed person को neglect कर देना, ignore करना और and respecting the pursuit of wealth without considering the social relations. These two reasons are the main reason of widespread poverty. First reason क्या है? Neglecting the poor and oppressed. Second reason क्या है? Legitimization of pursuit of wealth without considering social relations. These are the two reasons of poverty, not the first reason. Poor are not responsible for poverty. If poverty is whole, then we find crime. Now we find that neglecting the poor, oppressed and oppressed persons, and legitimization of pursuit of wealth instead of social relations, they are the major reasons of poverty. We find one evidence you please see over here. According to one survey in 2006 in US, 38 million households experience hunger and food insecurity in the US. 38 million persons household not persons. Household में बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं. 38 million households experience hunger and insecurity in US. This food insecurity and hunger was not due to lack of wealth. Was not due to lack of wealth because several $1 trillion have been spent on bombing Iraq back to the Soviet Union. Because trillions dollars रात पे बम्बिंग पे लगे, बम्बिंग की गई रात पे और इराक को स्टोन एज में लेकर गए, पत्थर के जमाने में फेंक दिया, कई $1 ट्रिलियन लग गए. जबकि कंडीशन क्या है? जबकि हालत ये है कि when just $1 trillion, not too much, not several trillion dollars, just $1 trillion was sufficient to provide health care for 47 million Americans. 47 million Americans. That is $1 trillion only enough to provide health care for 47 million Americans. It means अमेरिका ने सारा पैसा पंपिंग में वेस्ट कर दिया, लेकिन 38 million हाउसहोल्ड जो पूरी पूरी गजदार थे, जो पोर थे, वेल्थ था लेकिन उसे वेल्थ छीन लिया गया। ओके, $1 trillion ही काफी था कितने लोगों को फीड करने के लिए 40 साल को, शर्ते कि वो रात को बंदी ना और रात को बंदी क्यों की, रीजन क्या बंदी करने की, the major reason of bringing Iraq back to the old state, Stone Age, reason is to retrieve, to extract precious stones, precious metals, precious all kind of metals, gold, silver from Iraq. They extract all resources from Iraq and ship it to the US at the expense of $1 trillion. उन्होंने इराक को बिल्कुल खाली कर दिया। उसके लिए कितनी एफर्ट करना पड़ेगा, कब तक कितनी एफर्ट की, जानों का लॉस भी हुआ, बट लेकिन अभी तक वहां पे कोई समझने वगैरह नहीं। The other thing that is very interesting, on the other hand, the interest payment on $1 trillion, the interest payments on $1 trillion can eliminate starvation and malnutrition, or can finish starvation and malnutrition for every child on earth. जबकि इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट जो $1 trillion के जो इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट्स हैं वही काफी है वर्ल्ड बैंक के मुताबिक कि उसके साथ मालन्यूट्रिशन और स्टार्वेशन उम्मीद को खत्म कर दिया। अगर यूएस $1 trillion की इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट ही हर 4 चाइल्ड पे कंज्यूम करता तो भूख ना होती, और $1 trillion से या तो भूख खत्म कर देता या हर बच्चे को प्राइमरी एजुकेशन दे देता। लेकिन यूएस क्या था, यूएस वाज द क्रेजी ऑफ द, it does not care about anything, whatever the losses of life you see in newspapers and in many other courts, but US just work for the best interest of our society. As a result, they collapse Iraq. They destroyed Iraq. Millions of persons were killed in Iraq. Just वही तबाही हुआ। US also faced food insecurity of 38 million households and 47 million victims. This one is a point. The impact, bad impact of the COVID. The next thing we will discuss in tomorrow class. If you have any questions,